your nervous system and how you function as an embodied soul, an embodied spark of the divine. Can we reshape and recalibrate this nervous system? Just by joining us here in the posse, you're making efforts in the direction of saying, yes, I want to safely connect in group. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello there, everybody. So this video is about introducing some of the techniques, concepts, and ideas that are behind the Reset 2022, which many of us are engaging in for the next couple of months. And these ideas and concepts, these techniques are particularly what we're going to be engaging in the B.F.D posse, Reset 2022. If you choose to join us, the Breathe Feel Dream Posse 2022 starts mid-October, and there's a link in the description box, so consider joining us. And so whether you'll be joining us or not, I really am excited about some of these techniques and some of these foundational ideas. Today in particular, we're going to be drawing from this book. I'll do a little bit of reading, Polyvigal Exercises for Safety and Connection by Deb Dana, where it talks about neuroception and how we, on a very basic physiological yet unconscious level, repattern our system, and not just our system in terms of beliefs, views, and the responding emotional body to that, but also our life, all the choices we make. So stick around for that, and we're just going to unpack this a bit. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so let's dive in right away. Like I said, there'll be a lot of techniques that I'll talk about in video format in this series. And there are other foundational ideas that feed into the different techniques that we'll be working with in the B.F.D posse, Breathe Feel Dream, Be Flippin' Deal posse, where we're going to reset for the years coming from a real place, from a deeper place. So one of these ideas, as I mentioned, and I'll show you the book again, Polyvigal Exercises for Safety and Connection. And her subtitle here is 50 Client-Centered Practices. So this is written for people who hold space, for therapists, counselors, and the like. And as you can see, I have all kinds of bookmarks and pages that I've earmarked and written down. So what I'd like to do is, it's very much going to be a story time and a reading session. So I'm going to read a couple of things from this particular chapter where she talks about neuroception, unpacking what that is and how we work at it. So it's, both ends of the vibrational scale. There's some denser energies there, and there are some lighter, more expansive energies there. Denser, more contracted, lighter, more expansive. So as I begin to read through this, we'll touch on both. And hopefully at the end, I'll be able to really show you how some of the things, some of the techniques, and skill building that we're going to be doing during the Reset posse really has some of this as foundation. So let's begin. I'm not going to read everything, but a lot of things. So get your yummy beverage. I need a little sip of water. All right, here we go. I like this cute little paragraph, so I'll read this. Since humans first appeared on Earth, we've been finding ways to safely move through the world. From ancient navigational aids like the North Star and Viking Sunstone to the 20th century machines that use echoes of radio waves, sound, and light. That reminds me of bats, how they echolocate, and whales. Communication. We map what is unseen and navigate to safely. So already she's using the word map, and very much heavily based on this reset is heavily based on desire mapping set out by Danielle Laporte. Not strictly that, but we're drawing from that. The second, let's see, what else? Using the process of neuroception, the second organizing principle in polyvagal theory, which is what this technical book is about, the autonomic nervous system listens intently, searching for cues of safety, watching for signs of danger to help you orient and take action. So that is the job of the neuroception function of your nervous system. It's a part of the autonomic nervous system that listens intently, searching for cues of safety and watching for signs of danger in order to help you orient and take action. So, well, as we'll see here in the reading, it helps you to listen inwardly and outwardly. It's a complex thing. So let's keep going. Beneath awareness, through neuroception, the autonomic nervous system is listening inside to what is happening in your internal organs. So I'm going to put some of the inner sense gates in there. It's also listening outside, scanning the environment, and in the in-between space, listening to the connections available to another nervous system, meaning other people who have nervous systems in your environment. All right, I have to keep going, or it's going to take forever to get through this book. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to do this over here. Cues of life threat bring a shift into a dorsal vagal state of immobilization or collapse. Dorsal meaning the back, and when you're in that part of your nervous system, collapse, numb out, disassociation. With cues of danger, you step into sympathetic fight or flight, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, with cues of safety. Cues of safety activate the ventral vagal branch of the social engagement session. Ventral, front of the nervous system, polyvagal nervous system, social engagement, rest, digest, connect. A pang of hunger, the size of and temperature of a room, the feel of a chair, a face with a smile or a frown, are just some of the experiences that are taken in by the process of neuroception and bring an autonomic response. This little mini exercise here, I'm going to add it. There's a bunch of mini exercises peppered throughout this chapter. I'm not going to do all of them, but let's look at this one. Just for a minute, consider, so you might close your eyes and breathe. Consider what is a cue of safety or unsafety from inside your body. Could that be a tightness someplace? How about from your environment? Between you and another person? Now, if you're in a challenging state or place, there may not be cues of safety. You may be firmly in fight or flight or firmly in space out disassociation. However, we're wanting to move you into safety and engagement. It's easier. It's for a host of reasons that we'll get into. Let's continue, shall we? Neuroception is a passive pathway always running in the background, moving your clients or people you work with or yourself up and down the autonomic hierarchy from space out to fight or flight to safe and relaxed. Beneath awareness. Do you get that? Beneath awareness, subconscious, unconscious mind. Beneath awareness, neuroception assesses present moment demands, initiating some actions while inhibiting others. A neuroception of safety calms, connects, and dampens the need for protection. By first regulating the passive pathways of neuroception, a platform of safety is created that provides support for engaging the voluntary pathways involved in the process of change and action. Can you move forward safety, unbound and unguarded? Neuroception is a deeply subcortical experience that happens below the realm of conscious thought and outside of awareness. The internal surveillance system takes in a constant stream of information and responds by making autonomic adjustments that move you either toward connection or into protection. Always working in service of survival, neuroception activates the most adaptive as interpreted by the nervous system. Keep summer safe. Keep yourself safe. Is it safe enough to let down your guard? Is a known phrase. Long before the information reaches the brain to form a thought, get that, before it even becomes a thought, biology has taken action. While you are often unaware of the cues of safety or danger, you feel the autonomic response. Reactions are felt on the inside, for example, warmth in the heart, ease of breathing, stomach ache, tightness, or dry throat, and are sometimes seen on the outside, smiling, blushing, relaxed posture, stiff posture. So do you get that? There's that other book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. It's pointing at the same thing. So before you can even understand, your body has already taken an automatic response of the nervous system. So if you're in a situation that visually you have decided is safe, but your breathing is shallow, your heart has tightened up, your stomach's tightened up, and your shoulders up here, there's something in your unconscious, subconscious nervous system that's running a pattern and taking in clues that this is not cool, this is not safe. We got to protect. Safety versus danger. And in here, and just so that you're aware, in these conversations, we're making a distinction between what seems dangerous and what seems life-threatening. So neuroception is tuned through individual experience to take in cues in particular ways as safe, dangerous, and life-threatening. I just said that. Based on interactions with people and places, neuroception creates, over time, habitual patterns. Do you hear that? Habitual patterns of connection or protection. Over time, your internal radar is calibrated to respond in particular ways. Shaped in an environment that is safe and supported, the system reads cues accurately and inhibits defense systems in safe environments or activates them when there is risk. If that's true for you, however, shaped in an environment that is unpredictable and filled with unexpected events, an environment in which you feel unsafe or unseen, neuroception is then tweaked and biased toward protection. It's biased towards protection from the go, which leads to a mismatch between autonomic state and the actual, in the present moment, state of safety or the state of risk. This mismatch activates strategies that keep you from accurately sensing safety and inhibiting defense responses or identifying danger and initiating protective responses. These early autonomic patterns live on through neuroceptive tendencies that create what they are calling an autonomic profile. So clearly you can see you're thwarted or enhanced from the beginning. Out of your control. This is beyond. A neuroception of safety is incompatible with a neuroception of danger or life threat, making this an either-or experience. Through neuroception, your autonomic nervous system is either open to connection and the possibility of change, or locked in a protective response and stuck in a survival story. Oh, yeah, let's unpack this a little bit. Patterns of connection arise from cues of safety that downregulate your defense systems and activate the social engagement system. Research has shown that health effects of positive affect include greater longevity and better immune function and are more than the absence of negative effects. Okay, blah, blah, blah. An embodied sense of safety requires both the reduction or resolution of cues of danger, and the experience of cues of safety. So one without the other may not be enough to move out of a state of protection into readiness for connection. The nervous system needs the active appearance of and experience of cues of safety. So it has to be an actual experience and something that's apparent in your environment. So to just do a relaxation technique when there's an appearance of danger all the way around is maybe not enough to fully put yourself into rest, digest, into the ventral vagal, into the soothing state. There also needs to be a couple of other cues. The hopeful message from this theory is that the autonomic patterns and autonomic profiles can actually be reshaped. While early experiences shape the system, ongoing experiences can reduce or even resolve cues of danger. Cues of safety, often missed in the midst of cues of danger, can be recognized and over time become more abundant. One of the ways to reshape your system is to first bring perception to neuroception and then add context through the lens of discernment, which is what Whoops, which is what I was just talking about. Recognize it and then discern what is available and then take action. Bringing attention to the present moment invites you to consider the cues of danger. Has a cue, for example, has a cue from the past reached into the present moment? Is the present moment not giving you those cues, but you've dragged something into the present? While it was a necessary survival response when it first was activated, is it needed now? They have another exercise here, and I want to read just a bit more. Because I'm going to interject here before I start reading, as we engage in the posse. And if you're not joining the posse, that's cool. It may not be a good fit for you for a host of different reasons. However, safety of tribe, and tribe can have negative affect and positive affect. Here we're hoping to create a healthy vibe, a healthy tribe. A group of other nervous systems, other peoples, where you're safe and you're protected. So that's one way, just by joining the posse, to recalibrate your nervous system and how you function as an embodied soul, an embodied spark of the divine. Can we reshape and recalibrate this nervous system? Just by joining us here in the posse, you're making efforts in the direction of saying, yes, I want to safely connect in group. And we'll be going through group experiences of safety where you'll have an alignment partner, where we'll have some agreements right at the beginning of the posse, where we agree to these safety and certainly certain behaviors, and then we'll go through experiences. So by week 3, you'll already be beginning to retrain your nervous system to feel safe in this group of people. And I'll have to tell you here, this has always been a hot one for me, feeling safe in groups. And so here I am, creating a safely boundaried, supported, loving, wildly compassionate group of humans who want to reshape the nervous system and reshape your life through your desires, bringing in different templates of how you're going to set intention and goals. This foundational thing of resetting the nervous system is one of the things that will happen. One of the things we're engaging. So let me read a little bit more here. This is going to be so awesome. Neuroception launches a cascade of embodied events that become a story. And need I say, there's so much of the Breathe Feel Dream Posse that is embodiment, let alone the ecstatic dance sessions we're going to be doing, the movement meditation sessions we're going to be doing. Breathe and feel. That's embodiment. Breathing is an embodied action. Feeling is you training and moving your awareness to discerning what's happening here in your breath, in your body, in your feeling state of your heart and body, particularly your heart and emotional body. So what's happening here is before you're even conscious of these things, there's an autonomic nervous system event happening, telling you, is it safe? Is it not? How dangerous is it? Is it life-threatening? A story begins here. You begin to tell the story. Here, we'll unpack this. When entering into an autonomic state, the information about that state travels up the autonomic pathways to the brain. Then we make story. There, a story is created to make sense of your experience. So you can see how cognitive dissonance and confusion can arise if your autonomic state is triggering not safe. There's danger here, fight or flight. My shoulders to my ears, my stomach's tight, my heart's tight, my breathing is shallow. And you feed that information to the brain, and the brain is like, I see nothing in the environment. We are here and we're just in the kitchen or the bedroom. Conversation is light. We're just washing dishes. What's going on here? Cognitive dissonance. What's going on here? The physiological state creates a psychological story. Something must be wrong. Using the metaphor of a river, imagine the flow of experience at the river's source as neuroception, what your nervous system is picking up. And at the river's mouth is neuroception. And at the river's mouth, by the time it gets to the brain, that's the story. How are you understanding this experience? Are you numbing out? Are you freezing, fighting, feigning, fucking, or going some kind of fight or flight? Is it a relaxation response? In between lie perception. So in between in this river lie perception, autonomic state, feelings, and behaviors. What am I going to do about this? We're accustomed to entering the river downstream through feelings and behaviors or story, and talking the flip out of that in therapy, talk therapy, making affirmations, doing the thing, doing ritual. But neuroception happens at the furthest pointed back upstream. You need to make your way back to the starting point. Where does the freak out begin? What's happening in my body? What's my physiological response? You need to make your way back to the starting point, leaving behind the story, the behavior, and the feelings to then identify the state and bring perception to the base state of neuroception. It is when you travel back upstream to consider neuroception that you become aware of how your internal surveillance system begins the sequence of events that eventually leads to the way that you're feeling, you're acting, and you're thinking. So through meditation, through attending to your breathing and your feeling, that's coming back to the source, coming back to the beginning of what's true here. Attitudes, actions, and the way you see the world are the result of the autonomic nervous system moving between states of connection and protection. The stories you inhabit begin far away from the thinking brain, from your ideas, your view, your thoughts about this. They begin far away from the thinking brain and the autonomic nervous system with a neuroception of safety, danger, or life threat. Through understanding the process of neuroception, you can begin to honor the ways the autonomic nervous system listens and acts in service of your safety and survival. Knowing that neuroception shapes the first part of your story, you begin to listen in new ways and learn to become a skilled story editor. Boom. This is foundational, people. This is foundational. So they put a mini exercise here, and this is something that we'll be engaging in when we do in the B.F.D posse. when we do morning pages, when we engage in silent meditation and reflection, when we're at the begin of any meditation, any written exercise, any movement practice of ecstatic dance or movement meditation, any journal entering, we start with what's home and here. We breathe and we feel. What's true now? We do this because we want to know in your present moment what's way at the source of the stream before story begins. Before your desires of what you want for yourself begin, what's true? The mini exercise I'm going to offer here is this. Bring to mind an experience and make your way to the river's source. You might choose your experience right now in your present moment as you're listening to this. Bring perception to the neuroception that was the starting point. What's your physiological response? What's happening with your breath, in your physiology, in your body? Is there a subtle emotional state? What is, or if you're in your memory, what was the cue or cues of safety or danger? What are the cues of safety or danger that you follow downstream into feeling, into behavior, and finally into your story, your beliefs, your view, your decisions about the way it is? And boom! That's what I have for you today, folks. That's what I have for you today. Blip, 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 blip. That's all, folks. So it goes deep. That's all to say is that it goes deep. If you were an intuitive when you were young, sleeping was a challenge. You've trained yourself into believing that sleep is way too vulnerable and you're not safe. You may have sleep problems. Are other ways to cope with that? If you've been through any kind of mediumship training or intuitive training, as I have, you learn to recalibrate your system and include protocols of energetic safety. And then you have some experiences with them. So you create an external environment. You can create a ritual, a protocol, and then you go and you have a practice with it as a way to restory the event, to recreate a pattern in the nervous system of safety. So with our feels, we're going to be going into this in spades. Oof, I feel myself all kinds of activated with this. So if this has import or resonance or meaning for you, let me know in the feed. Let me know. If you can go to the story behind the story, go way back. What is the experience behind this that gave rise to, oh, this is because, oh, this is why, oh, this is the feeling response, and then I have a feeling and a safety or protection response down the line. So it's way down the line. And so you live down the line. What's deep to that? So this is not the way back machine where we're going to regurgitate old problems. This is the deep down machine. What's deep down supporting this? What's really happening deep down here? And can we recreate, retrain some new patterns? Yeah. Deep work, people. Deep work. This is how we create our dream life. Because we can't take these patterns forward. If we do, they will recapitulate and create sabotage. And that's not what we're after here. We're not after creating all these dream lives and then having these old, deep neuroception, neuro pathways slam down protections and blocks that aren't necessary, that aren't even helpful anymore. This is part of the practice. This is how we move forward. So I hope you join us. I really hope you join us because it takes a community here to really create, repattern, and relive. So whether you do it with us, you do it with me, or you do it with your therapist or somebody else, awesome. Just do it. Just do it. We're recreating ourselves so that we can move forward with our lives without the old stuff. Yeah. So let's do this, peeps. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, that's what I have for you.